Cool. You got the full screen?
Yeah. Oh, what's up, everybody? It looked like today I am getting through this one. Hold on.
One more over. There you up.
Right
There.
there.
One more.
Here.
Nope.
Here.
Yep. There you go.
Everybody, it is your girl Meochia with my daughter Disha, and we are having another mad combos. Meochia and Disha's mother and daughter conversations. And today we are going to be talking about breakups because, woo, haven't we all been through them? Mothers go through them, daughters go through them, and we try to figure out how to kind of deal with each other as we are navigating those relationships. How do we handle them in a way that kind of brings you and your daughter or mother closer to each other and doesn't tear you all apart? Because sometimes when you're going through a breakup, mama say the wrong thing, or daughter say the wrong thing, y'all can be at each other's throat. Now y'all mad at each other and a relationship done going on and you left out in the cold. So we want to just help you today navigate through those relationships. Anything you got to say to Shay?
No, I'm just ready to go through it because I feel like with both of us, we've experienced it where it can be either hurt and pain from, maybe you wanted your mama to leave somebody and she didn't soon enough, and, maybe you need your daughter to leave somebody and she's not trying to leave, or, whatever the case is. So it's great to just talk about it because you will get through it.
Yeah, and we all go through it one way or the other. I mean, I thank God when I see relationships with parents who have been together for years. Man, that is the best when they've been together since they were little. But they can tell you about a time inside of their relationship where they thought they was not gonna make it. People, people run around and see these long relationships and think that they were perfect. No, no. People go through challenging times, even when you're married to somebody. Just because you're in divorce don't mean y'all can't feel like y'all breaking up. So let's get to it. So breakups are the worst. That is the first thing. Breakups are the worst. Whether it's a short-term relationship or a long-term relationship or whether it's divorce. One of the best things I heard my husband say was that divorce is like death. Breaking up in relationships can feel like death. And believe it or not, you still kind of go through the 4 stages of grief. Believe it or not. And you really got to apply that and use that to kind of help you to get through, because there's a part of you that feels like you are dying. You done built something with this person. You thought they were going to be the one, whether it's you breaking up with them or them breaking up with you. And then all of a sudden things just kind of change. And you were a minute ago trying to plan your wedding. You were like, this is the dude I'm going to be with. And then all of a sudden, man, it just ends, right? What happens? So you have to allow yourself to really go through the stages, these 4 stages to help you get through. One is denial. We kind of go through that. No, he didn't.
Right.
No, he didn't just break up with me. Or it could be more like, dang, I thought we was gonna be together forever. He is not the one. Either one of those. Have you been through any denial or anything to shake before I go to the next one?
Yeah, I feel like in my situations, usually I've been the one to do the breaking up because I get to certain points in my life where I'm just like, yeah, this just don't fit. However, when it happens to me, it's just like, wait a minute, do you know who I am? Like, did you really just break up? Did you break up with me? Me, all people, you missing a good thing right here, Or yeah, like you said, even on the other side, when it is me breaking up with that person, because it's just like you looking like, seriously, like I thought I had it all figured out, and he is not working.
Oh man, and you be trying to make it work, knowing in your heart he ain't the one, but you be like, oh, but he's so fine. Oh my God, he's so fine.
Mm-hmm. And then, let's talk about the depression
But
part.
before we go into depression, I got to talk about one of the guys that I dated. Oh my God, he was so gorgeous. But as we got to know each other, he was just dumb. I mean,
Oh, that
like,
hurt. The pretty dumb ones that hurt so bad.
oh man, he was like, he was perfectly dumb. I was like, no, you can be smart in some kind of way. You so cute. It wasn't gonna work. Anyway, the second one is depression. That's the situation. And some of us, when we think of depression, we always think on a mental level of depression, like going to see a therapist, even though sometimes you feel like you want to go see a therapist. But I'm talking about depression, like it hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It hurt.
Yeah.
You understand?
But let's think about where that comes from too, though, because when you're in a relationship with someone, and you start spending that time and investing all that time with them, that's really a psychological, thing. So like with splitting up, you really go through a mourning process because you're used to, physically being around this person, being emotionally tied to this person. So to just break stuff off, and especially when it's something that happens so abrupt, like you really have to mentally process that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, disappointment. That's
Mhm.
like, in with that depression. Like I thought that this was going to work. I done shared my secrets
Same
with this
here.
dude. I done talked about people with this dude. And a lot of times, let's keep it real, even though we should not be, a lot of us engage in activities that we shouldn't be engaged in. I done gave myself to this guy. Man, we shared something. And a lot of young ladies, you don't realize the spiritual ties, the soul ties. That's why we tell you all to wait until you're married, because there's a soul tie that goes along with that. So when somebody departs from you like that, your body is shaking. There's a part of you missing. You think you can handle it like a dude, but nah, you can't. The third one is anger. That's the what the heck? No,
Hmm.
he didn't. This the phase where you got to be careful and make sure you don't go and bust nobody's windows out.
Depending on the reason for the breakup. I mean, sometimes it's okay to go bust a little window, just don't get caught.
Bust nobody's window, going get your girls, pulling your earrings off. No, I mean you be angry because you like, man, I thought you loved me. You lied. You said we was gonna be together. You lied. Or it could be you breaking up with him. Like, dude, you promised me that you wasn't gonna do this again. You said that you were gonna be faithful. You said that you was gonna that. Man, I done brought you around all these people. Everybody know you. We done built this, and then you gonna do that, especially if you have children. Woo! So there's some anger. And in marriage, oh, there's a lot of anger there because I done built up years with you. And now how do I feel going back in front of people? I'm divorced now. It hurts. It
Yeah,
hurts.
and then you have to be careful too during a breakup, not to be so angry with yourself, being angry with your friends, being angry with people, because people that love you, they always want the best for you. So what they're gonna naturally do is tell you what they think the best solution is, or basically how we all do it. You should have been broke up with him a long time ago, or
I do it.
exactly. So
We're gonna get to that.
it's
We're gonna get to
natural, but like they say, like be angry but say not. You know what I'm saying? Like don't cut off a relationship with a friend or something like that. It's just that they trying to help you feel better. So therefore they probably say the worst things, not thinking that it's probably not the best thing to say at the time.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that part in a second. But even in a relationship with that person that you splitting up with that guy, you need to was in the midst of that anger. Don't be, and when he wants to cut it off and don't want to be your friend, he don't want to talk to you no more. That can make you, I want to talk about it. And he don't want to talk. That can make you angry and make you frustrated. And if we don't have control of our emotions, we can go out and do something real stupid. So you got to be careful with that anger. The last part of it is acceptance. And that is saying, hey, I need to move on. You know what? This is not coming back. It's over. It's done. Time to move on. You got to allow yourself to go through those. If you don't allow yourself to go through those, you'll end up doing some things that you may regret later. You have to give yourself an opportunity to mourn. Even if you and that person end up back together, you need to go through these stages. You need to allow your body to naturally go through the mourning process and then come back up vibrant and refreshed so that you can think clearly going into the next relationship. So
Yep.
acceptance is the last thing. And then after you can accept it, it'll be easy for you and everybody else to kind of move on. It'll still sting, but not as bad because you understand that it's over.
Yeah. And that's why, like, going through this stuff, I think it's good to let yourself do it, but be mindful of how you react in these different phases, because you're right, you do get to acceptance phase. And when that happens, you don't want to, react so bad during your anger, or, be so deep down and not thinking that you can get out of your depression, that you get to this stage and there's so much baggage there that you can't really fully move on.
Yeah. So me and Deshay always say, allow yourself an opportunity to hurt. Hurting is normal. You have
Yeah.
to allow yourself. God gave you tears for a reason. Use them. So allow
You
yourself to hurt. It's okay. Especially as women of color, I'm gonna say it. We are taught to be so strong. Man, that's what Christ is there for. Give it to him. Allow yourself to cry. I don't care if you cry to yourself. So these are the different, you know, stages that you have to go through in a breakup. And we'll move on to the next one. And this chart right here, if you all are interested, I pulled that off of Pinterest. Is that what you say? Pinterest? Is that what it's called?
An interest.
Pinterest. Breakups suck.
No.
Point of everything. Breakups suck for everybody. Grown women, young women, older women, senior citizens, little kids. Breakups suck. Just thought I'd get that out. So the next thing is noticing the physical signs. Even if your daughter or your mother says that nothing is wrong, there is something wrong. And if you know her well enough, you can pick up on the signs. Physical things to watch out for if she's not eating. Because you got some mamas who don't like to tell their business. So when you're young, you just kind of thinking about me, and really the world, it appears like everything is about you. But watch out and see what's happening to your mom, especially if she's single, and prayerfully if she's married, she's not going through these things. But when you see these signs, they're telltale. She's not eating, distributing reckless behavior. And that's really good for mamas to hear that reckless behavior. Your daughter starts drinking, she starts going out with a lot of guys, sleeping around, just those types of things. When that starts happening, be mindful. Something is going on. Something has her upset. She's not sleeping. Because it's hard to sleep, right? When you got all this stuff on your mind and you're trying to figure out why this relationship, why this relationship ain't working out. You're trying to go over it over and over again inside of your head. So if she stops talking, mom used to be cool. We used to be running around everywhere. Now all of a sudden, mama ain't talking no more. The daughter ain't talking no more. She ain't laughing no more. What's wrong? She going through a breakup. Mental things. She's depressed, sad all the time. This is not her normal behavior. It's not a seasonal thing. It's not a this. It's not a no. Something else is going on. Increased anxiety. She's edgy about everything. Everything is upsetting her. Just like she's snapping off. Why? Questioning self and decisions. Now, because this guy got you shook up, you thought it was gonna be something. It ain't nothing. Now you looking at yourself like, dang, am I pretty? Am I good enough? Man, maybe I should have been faster in doing something like this. You just start questioning yourself. Impacted self-esteem. Again, am I pretty? Maybe if I lost weight, maybe if I gained more weight, maybe if I get these breast implants, maybe if I had children, maybe if I didn't have children, just a whole lot of things this breakup can do to you. So as a mom and as a daughter, you should be paying attention to these signs, because when you start seeing them, maybe you can open up a conversation to get her to start talking about it. And like I said, a lot of mothers come from generations where they don't really talk about things, especially to their daughters. They feel like they're the ones that should be giving the advice and not the ones that should be taking the advice. But this is a time when you can just kind of be like, hey, mom, I'm your support. I'm here for you if you need to talk.
Yeah, and then there's too, and it is, so I think it's interesting because with our relationship, and I don't want to say like this is going to be the standard for everyone in their mother-daughter relationship. Since I've been older, you've been married since I've been, 13, 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, there may have been a lot of things like this going on with you when I was younger. However, I did not notice it. Mm-hmm. So for older mother-daughter relationships, I would definitely say that sometimes the signs could be hard because they, it's boundaries, right? So when we're thinking about like this age gap like we have right here, we're not living together. Right. So for a breakup or something like this to happen is kind of hard. But if you do have
it's hard for a breakup, or it's hard to notice the signs.
It's hard to notice the signs.
Oh, okay.
So, just making sure you can have that open dialogue is definitely something, that I would encourage, especially in times of need like this, because, being different things, it's easier to just kind of wear that veil. Like, you don't know I'm not eating if I'm just coming to see you for a few hours. Or, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what I do the moment that I leave. However, you can pick up on a lot more of the mental things.
Yeah, and I can also pick up on things like if we're having a phone conversation, and that's why it's important to build those relationships. I know and I'm talking about, I can only speak for me and your relationship. I can hear it in your voice when something is wrong. You know it, and I know it. I also know when you start avoiding me, I know that something is wrong. When you're not calling or me and you talk and the conversation is kind of short, I know that something is wrong. You are mine. I know. Now, it may not be as easy.
Unless I'm taking some personal self-care time, y'all. I'm telling you, I got to call this woman every day. It ain't no days off. So yeah, but I would be interested though to find that out, and maybe in the comments you guys can talk about that stuff for older mother and daughter relationships. What are some of those signs that you notice, and how do you bring this up, when somebody is going through something, to figure out like, hey, are you still in a relationship? Besides like asking the obvious, are you in a relationship right now? Do you and so still date?
Or dude ain't coming around no more. You ain't. That's another one. If she's not talking about him as much, what's going on? How's everything going with you all? That's another thing. She started bringing somebody else around. Those are really obvious signs. But I'm more concerned with the mental state, also of the individual. So yeah, you are. That's good to say. If you aren't living in the same home, you can't notice things as much. But that's why it's important to stay in communication with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can notice stuff and then I can harass you. Please don't. Please don't. These are the please don'ts. Bombard her with questions. Shay like, yes, mom. No. Well, what happened? What he do? What'd you do? Was he cheating? Was he that? No.
I say just allow her to open up. I know I'm one of those people. When I'm ready to open up and talk about it, I will. My mom over there is the investigator. I don't care how sweet you try to put it, how much you try to be like, oh, well, what happened? Next thing you know, she gonna think about it. She gonna go to sleep, think about some more stuff, dream about it, wake up, ask more. So just let it happen naturally.
Yeah, because she knows when she starts opening up and telling me something happened, yeah, I give her.
I felt it 3 days ago. I knew.
Hey, I need to be there for you. Please don't say it's her fault, even if it is her fault. Now is not a good time. So when she first tells you about the breakup, don't be like, well, Deshae, you was a little annoying. I can see why he probably wanted to leave a relationship. You was overbearing. How many times did you ask him about that ring? Just that's the last thing that she needs is for me to begin dumping her on her. Her to be like, well, Mom.
Right. That's true too. Because I mean, some people, they could be missing out on good stepdaddies or something. And they like, Mom. Right. Like, did you have to keep? I don't know. I got a good stepdaddy, so I don't know. The other people, they did need to go.
Mama, really?
Don't make the family lose out because you tripping. Okay.
Oh man. And don't do one of those things. Well, Mom, it's all your fault. I mean, come on. If you've grown by now and your parents divorced, I know it's a sad thing, but don't be throwing no tantrums like no baby. Handle it like a woman. Talk to your mom. Don't be, yes, you did, Mom. You can wait. Right. Give her time. Give her a moment.
Let's talk about this next one though. Don't tell her what you already knew. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about mothers. Because mothers, y'all just have like this sixth sense out the gate. You know how it be like when we was little growing up, and then y'all just knew the fast friend, and it'd be like, this that little girl was fast. I saw her. I knew she was fast as day one. Same thing. Like, we know that y'all knew he was messed up.
Yeah, because we are good for that as mothers. I knew he wasn't no good. The woman I saw. You gotta say that. I'm not saying don't say it. I'm just saying there's a time and a place. And right now, when she opens up and begins to talk to you about it, that's the wrong time to be talking about, I knew he wasn't no good. Did you see his shoes? He wasn't on nothing. Cheap. Be careful, because there's a chance that she might end up back with him. So, and that's going to be your son-in-law. Oh, man.
Get out the guns and razors.
Please don't get out the guns and razors. Even though there are times when you want to, but we don't want you going to jail. And then you got to set an example, especially mothers, for your daughters. You can't be running around, shooting people and cutting people up. And how did that look? How are you teaching your daughter how to handle situations if you out there fighting with her? Not a good look. I mean, you might feel like fighting. Y'all can even discuss fighting, but you don't have to go out there and fight.
I say get out the guns and razors when it's a marriage, not over the boyfriend.
God is convicting me. God is convicting me. Like Meochia, you better listen to this.
All right. How about make excuses for the ex's behavior? Because sometimes, you might have the mom or you might have the daughter who might have liked this dude for her dad, or the mom who might have saw her future son-in-law in this dude and be like, well, he was just.
All boys are going to be boys.
Right.
He'll grow out of it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't send your daughter inside of no crazy relationship. Let her make that decision, because it is her life after all. What you want to be is you want to be a support. You want to be support for her, but if he's doing something that he has no business doing, the last thing that you want to do is make your daughter feel like it's her fault, because that means that's giving him the doorway, opening up the door for him to do whatever he wants to your daughter, and her to feel like it's okay and it's not okay, and her to feel like she has nobody to come to and talk to when things happen. No, that's not good. So don't make excuses for an idiot's behavior.
Yeah, and don't tell her why you think he did it. That's something for her to ask and figure out from him herself and draw her own conclusions from.
Yeah. Now, if she asks you, if the mom asks you, if the daughter asks you, then feel free to give your opinion. But if they don't start it, because it's pouring flame. What is it? Pouring gasoline on a fire. You don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. The last one is don't make it about you. This is your daughter's breakup, or this is your mother's breakup. Don't make this about you and what you could have did and what you should have did and what you used to do and da da da. For that moment, you need to be in with them.
Yeah, and I think this is definitely more related towards moms with daughters, because moms so frequent had a thing like, well, I would have did this, and when this happened to me, the outcome was this, because people can have different endings to the story. No two situations or relationships are the same. So sometimes you can just, it's not about you. Put your listening ears on. You can go back to our first video when we were just talking about communicating, and getting that stuff out. It's time for you to listen. So do it.
And give it time, because we want to encourage mothers. We're not saying don't say anything. It's just there's a time. There's a time, and right then at that moment, that might not be the time. But wisdom does work. We hate seeing you all go through stuff unnecessarily that you don't have to go through. And we may be able to see the writing on the wall, but sometimes we have to let you go through and experience it for yourself. Because you don't want your daughter coming back like, you should have told me. Why didn't you tell me? I tried to tell you. So, but just don't make it about you. Listen.
Yeah. So what can they do instead?
Instead, look, listen. No matter how much it hurt, no matter how much you want to say, I saw that fool, listen. And sometimes you have to listen, because you got to play those words back to her and say, hey, sweetheart, you need to listen to what it is that you're saying. And how would you feel? And blah, 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 blah. So you need to be able to just listen. You need to be a sounding board. Sometimes she just needs to vent. Sometimes it's good for us to be able to hear what we're saying. We got it inside of our head, and in our head it sounds one way, but once we let it out and we start listening to ourselves, we don't need you to autocorrect us, because we listen to our own selves like, whoa, am I really saying this? So just listen and allow her an opportunity to vent, just to get it out. Give advice if it's okay, right? That there's that moment when your daughter is going through, or even like I said, your mom is going through, where they don't want you to give advice. They just want you to hear them out. Mm-hmm. And then there's a time where, they want to talk and they want to hear what it is that you have to say, because you don't want to get that. If you only would have told me, you can say things like I tell to say, you want my advice? Do you want me to tell you what I think? And if she say, yeah, oh man, I'm coming with it, boy. Okay, here it goes.
Yep,
But I want to be careful because I want to maintain that relationship with my daughter. You know, I want to be helpful to her, but I don't want to just bombard her with so much stuff that she just kind of like, oh, you know, comfort her. This is the time, especially when you have moms in relationships. When as a mother, that's kind of like a pride thing, right? We're supposed to be taught. We're supposed to be the one with the husband, and you're supposed to have this father or awesome stepdad. And here I am. I'm the one that's breaking up with somebody. That's hard for me. That's hard because you got to see mommy going through things that young people go through. I'm not supposed to be going through this. I need love right now. I need affection. I need you to comfort me. My daughter, if she's going through, she needs me to comfort her. She needs me to love on her. She needs me to tell her that she's beautiful and that I care about her. She needs me to say, come on, baby, let's go to Starbucks. Let's go somewhere so we can talk, you know. And every conversation don't have to be about that relationship. Because right now, she got a lot of stuff in her head, you know. What do you think, Shay?
yeah, I agree with that. I mean, just take time and then wait for that. I mean, ask, and then just wait for that invite to come in, and then when it does happen, show some love.
Amen. So here it is. Um, like I said, we always say this, me and Shay, you need that time to hurt. It's okay to have some hurting time. So laugh a little, cry a little. I think me and Shay have had some crazy, funny moments where in the midst of that stuff that we going through, we find laughter.
Yeah, always breakups,
That
ending friendships, just anything. I mean, if you can't laugh at it, then what you gonna do? Just sit there and be sad about it all the time.
yeah, and mothers, it's okay to let your daughter see you cry. It's okay to cry. Sometimes we have to, and I keep saying, as women of colors, we are raised to be so strong. And women, some of us, no matter who we are, we're raised to be so strong. And especially in situations like this, we don't know how to be vulnerable. It's okay to cry, and it's okay for her to see you cry.
Yeah.
Cry together. You have to. I'm gonna tell you, boy. Some of these guys, we be falling in love with too. We be just as disappointed as you are. Shoot, I know. Mothers, this especially goes for mothers. Share your breakup story and be honest about it. If you don't have one, share somebody else's story. Yep, tell a business. But if you don't like to see her hurting, ask her how you can help her. That's important. You have to be vulnerable in these moments because if your daughter has seen you and your husband, her father, that's the only man she's been around. That's who she's seen you with. So she doesn't think that you have a breakup story. She thinks that your life is perfect, so she feel like her life is supposed to be perfect. She feel like mom and daddy didn't divorce, mom and daddy didn't go through this, but here I am about to go through a divorce. Here I am, I'm going through a serious breakup. I'm gonna tell you, and she's not. So, mama, this is a time for you to be real with her and talk to her about a time that maybe your heart was broken, or talk to her about a time that you and your husband have went through. I didn't think you were going to make it out, but maybe you made it out. This is a great time to be able to share that story. If you feel like it's too much to go into too much detail, just give her the basics of it because she needs to know that she's not the only one. She will be okay and she can start again. Anything, Shay?
I agree.
Give her time and don't take it personal. I'm a spoiled mama. Oh my goodness. My daughter, that's my baby. I love my family. And so, yeah, I can feel that way sometimes when I don't, hear from my daughter or when she's in her mode where she's just kind of shutting down. She's an introvert. Oh my God.
Yes, or I just be being an introvert. I just be being an introvert. That's it.
It don't matter. I'm an extrovert. It hurt. I'll be like, oh my God.
Oh man.
But she just needs time. So it's okay to give her a little space to breathe, whether it's a mother or a daughter.
Let's say it one more time. It's okay to get a little space to breathe. It's okay. I just had to slow it down. Go ahead. You can go ahead.
That sound personal to say. You want to talk? Don't make me come over there with my razors. I mean, hey.
But no, seriously, it is because I mean, it's something that you know, you really have to process and get through. And every day that you process it is going to be, you know, a new thought that goes through. And just dealing with these feelings is something, you know, it's something new. It's something that you never thought would happen. So sometimes a little bit too much advice or a little bit too much talking to during the time really doesn't give you, you know, time to process your own thoughts and feelings about the situation.
That's what I should have put up there. Process. You need time to process. So
Mhm.
don't take it personal when your mother or when your daughter just takes that little bit of time. It has nothing to do with you. And treats, treats always help. Give her a spa day if you're trying to look for a way to help her. An in-home spa, which that could be you all doing you nails together. Wash your mama's hair. Hint, hint. I don't think you ever wash my hair.
Do it look like I wash my hair?
That's questionable. Mama's hair. Polish
If
her
your mama
fingernails.
not tender-headed,
Huh?
that if your mama not tender-headed,
Yeah, boy, I will fight you. Do her nails or her toes. Give her a back massage.
yeah, this sounds
Sometimes you need those things, or pay for a pedicure or girls' day out. Some Starbucks, just something. Just give her something special. Just the treats work because we gotta feel special. Constantly lift her up. Man, if it is your daughter, constantly pour into her. Tell her how smart she is. Don't be sounding like, if it ain't true, don't be telling her stuff that ain't true. I ain't saying nobody's daughter ain't that smart, but I'm saying don't be telling her stuff that ain't true. If she 5 feet tall, don't be telling her, girl, you can dunk. You can dunk, girl, anything.
you probably can.
You gonna be
Probably
like,
can.
baby, I will get that ladder for you and you can get up to that hoop and dunk that ball. Anyway.
No, but it's more like, you know, you a queen. Put your crown on. You good
Yes.
anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, you got this. Girl, hit that gym. I see you. Get right.
or let's work out together. Let's do this thing together. But don't if she having a problem because this fool done told her he leaving her because she got too big. Don't be talking about let's go to the gym together. No, you gotta find a better way of saying that.
Yeah, but let's talk about the most important thing, prayer. Pray with her and for her as she goes through. Now, this is something that we just do outside of breakups. So it comes kind of naturally, but especially through a time like this, like we talked about the whole process that comes with the breakup, the denial phase, the depression phase, the anger phase, and then finally it comes to that part of acceptance. So with that, you know, you got to pray through those different phases. Like, man, okay, she's going through it. Let's pray. She just found all this stuff out. Ooh, she looking a little depressed. I know there's nothing that I can probably do too much for her, but you know what? I will pray with you and help you out with it. I know that you angry. Don't do nothing crazy, but I can still, you know, be here for you. And that's just the best thing. It's like it's one thing to say you praying for me or for your daughter or for your mom, but it's another thing to do it together and you actually hear it.
Amen. And you all can come up with a crazy board. You ain't gotta blow nobody's car up, but you can do a crazy board and just come up with all kind of funny, crazy scenarios of what you could have done. Don't do it, and don't let the FBI find it if something happens to him.
Right. Don't even do the crazy part.
Don't do the crazy board. I like
Don't
it.
do it. People
I'm gonna
get
try
caught
to
up.
my husband. Curtis, the crazy board.
It ain't right
Give
there.
yourself time to breathe and grieve. Now, this goes for the other person. Like, for instance, if it's me and I'm going through a divorce, Deshay has to give herself time to breathe and grieve as well. That's the other part that I was talking about earlier. And I'll bring it up as a mother with a daughter that's going through a breakup, right? I also need time as a mother to breathe and grieve because guess what? I had expectations for that relationship. I cared about that person too. I need an opportunity to let go because there's some expectations that I had. So it's okay for me to give myself an opportunity to breathe and grieve. Like I gotta be like, dang, I was calling him son-in-law. He met my friends. I've been bragging to my friends about this guy. Did. Brought him around my family. Blah blah blah. Husband thought this, that, and then things didn't work out. Woo! So for me, I'm upset. I'm hurting because I cared too. Even though I'm not the one that was in it, but everybody suffers as a result of that when it's a relationship that everybody in the family is involved in. That's what they always tell young men, don't bring that girl around your mama unless you plan on being with her, right? That's a series that holds true because the family gets an attachment too. So be careful, because so what happens is when you're ready to get back with him, the family looking like, wait a minute, we still up in our feelings. So everybody got to make up. Everybody got to get through this. Everybody got to, you know, get back together. Accept the fact that she may take him back. This is very important. If a girl is in an abusive relationship, or if a mother is in an abusive relationship, this is hard. This is hard. Do not take it personal. It doesn't mean that they're comparing this person's love to your love. Two totally different relationships, two totally different things. It has nothing to do with you. So do not take it personal. Do not take it personal. What you need to do is show your daughter or your mother support. I'm not saying say, oh, I agree with what he did with you, because you don't agree. And you can tell them that, hey, I do not appreciate this person hurting you. I don't appreciate what they did, but I need you to know that I am there for you and I care for you. And because you are going to try to make this work, I'm going to try to make it work. But don't bring that fool around me. That's all I'm telling you right now. I can't deal with him. But I am there for you. But also understanding if time goes by and this person gets their act together, you got to be willing to forgive too.
Yep.
And you got to let her know it's okay to forgive, because what it does is it causes a strain in relationship. And you don't want you and her relationship to start tearing apart because she feels like she has to choose between him and you.
Yeah, and let's even take it a step further. Let's not call it a step further, but just being real about these situations. A lot of the times it's kind of hard, especially when you're with a partner and your family knows this person, right? Because your family knows them, loves them, because your family knows you and loves you. Sometimes it's hard to let them know when things are going sour, because you may forgive this person. Say it is not an abuse. Say that it's something like cheating. Say if it was a disagreement. Say it was just something that, was your standard and that person didn't live up to at the moment. Your family is going to be less likely to forgive them than you are. And that makes it
not as quick to forgive.
Not as quick, but let's be real. A lot of people, their families don't forgive. Just like you can tell your friends about something that the person that you love did to you, or another friend. Oh man, my friend, she betrayed me this week, or I ain't like the way that she said so and so, because your other friend is so protective of you. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be as forgiving because they really don't have that relationship with that person to let them in. So, when you get to this point of acceptance, and preferably is not nothing crazy like abuse or cheating or something like that, that, hey, this can happen, but we can forgive them and we can all move on. But sometimes it just makes it hard to open up, because if you know that these people, the people that love you and have been with you your whole little life, can't accept that this person hurt you this one time, then
Yeah, I mean, you have to put yourself in a position. I mean, like, somebody whoop your butt. Could you imagine? And then for women, women see it a lot differently. Could you imagine a man beating on your daughter, then he gonna come in your father's face? Oh, that chicken is delicious. Dude, if you don't give me that chicken, it's not easy. It's not easy. Forgiveness is important, but you have to give everybody time. Like I said, the family needs to grieve and that person needs to grieve. And there's some forgiveness and things that have to take place. That's very important. So accept the fact that she may take them back, but in the process, pray. Don't get mad if she takes her ex back. I know it's easier said than done. The main thing that you can do is pray for the relationship. Pray for him, pray for her, pray for them. Pray, because that's going to help you keep your sanity. And through Christ, all things are possible. And you pray also that if things don't change, that your daughter or mother has the strength to move on. But constantly let them know, I'm in prayer and I support you. And again, love each other through it and support each other. That's so important, that you all support each other, because without that support, a person can be going through a lot of abuse, and what they'll start doing is shutting down, and you won't have an earring or nothing that's going on. And there are relationships, abusive relationships, where men and women do this too, but men will isolate the woman from her family through control. And if she feels like she doesn't have support or anybody to come to, or she feels like everybody's going to be angry with her or whatever, she'll start backing away. So you need to let her know that through everything, you are going to be there and you are going to support her. And prayerfully, she'll get strong enough to step away from that relationship, or they'll be strong enough to get past those hurdles and get on to the straight and narrow. Mm-hmm. The last thing that we wanted to give was the abuse hotline number. That number is 800-799-7233. If you know anybody that is being abused, if you are a victim of abuse, please dial this number. There are counselors that are there 24 hours to talk to you. Sometimes you just need to talk about it. That number is available. Please use it if you need to. Again, that's 800-799-7233. That is the National Abuse Hotline number.
Okay. Or 911 if it gets too steep.
Oh, yeah. 911. 911 works. All right, so that's it for the presentation. We are going to turn off the record button, and we're going to just open it up for discussion so that we can talk about this. So thank you all for listening to our mad conversations, getting through breakups. For mothers and daughters, the best way to get through a breakup is together. I'm Meochia, that's Disha. Okay, how do I?
First, you want to stop recording.
Wait a minute.